We are so close to owning this field. But at the same time, we need to get this one planted. What to do? What to do? Hello and welcome along. Today we are back going big on Estancia Lapacho. We're currently filling up our seeder. In fact, we have filled up our seeder, so let's get it started. Let's get the tractor started. We are going to be planting sunflowers first on this field here. We're going to get that done. Hopefully, we'll about half the video should be this. We then have 2 contracts that we're going to go and have a look at. So if we have a look here, we're going to pick up the first one. So field 13 and field 15, so 19,000 between them. They're quite big fields, but that's not a problem because we have a pretty big sprayer. So we should be able to do those quite easily. But as I said, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this field done. Let's unfold our seeder here. And yeah, so we're gonna get a lot done today is the plan, and if we can get all this done, that'll be really good for us. I need to make sure I am properly lined up. There we go. Of course, we cultivated this field last time. Check that I'm on a good direction. Yeah, I am. Fantastic. So something I learned, and I think I might have mentioned this in yesterday's Felsburn video. But if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, for those of you who didn't see that video, you have a compass. And basically, because fields, if I go, so at the moment it's set to 180.1 degrees. So I know that I'm going straight down the map with that setting, which is absolutely perfect. So that's, if you're looking for a way to make sure that you hit the same mark every time, this is what you want. This is how you want to do it. You basically set your compass, get your compass on whatever direction you want to go, and away you go, and it works absolutely brilliantly. So I just wanted to give you guys, tell you guys that to start off with. We have, it'll take us a little while to get this field done, so I'm not going to do all of that. We will cut about a bit, but there is the first strip done. I don't want to go into the other field now that it's, now that it is sown and actually has crop in it. There's a couple of fields we can harvest, but having just done a harvest video, I kind of wanted to avoid repeating myself too much. So yeah, we're going to be doing a bit of seeding. We'll get this field seeded, and then we will go and attack those 2 fields that we have that we can earn a bit of money off, and hopefully afford the other field that we have near us. So, yeah, I'm going to get this done and dusted. There we go. Nicely online. And I'll see you a bit when we're a bit further into the field. So we are somewhere between a third and halfway through this field at this point. We've got about both a quarter of our fertilizer and a quarter of our seed left. It's not going down too fast. We've very much become sort of a sunflower and soybean farm here on Estancia Lapacho. They seem to be the 2 that give us the most money. They're the 2 that present us the most opportunities on this series of going big. We are going to expand, so my plans eventually, and because a lot of people are requesting it, are to expand and do some sugarcane. I'm very much looking at field 5 as somewhere for us to put down a load of sugarcane for us to do. I'm wondering if hiring the equipment for sugarcane harvesting and sugarcane stuff is going to be the best way for us to go with that, because it's expensive stuff, and it's going to be an expensive thing to set up. This is going big. This is you know, us trying to do that kind of thing and make a mark like that. But I don't want to be ending up spending a huge amount of money on a third crop with such a huge setup that is never going to produce the cash. So we are considering that at the moment. It may be that we get sugarcane started a little later in the series, but certainly at the moment we've got our single field, and we tend to be doing a rotating between these two crops, which are great crops. And as I said before, actually, I want to get an overloader on this series and be using that with a lorry. So there's lots of stuff we want to buy. The unfortunate thing, of course, is that we are maxed out in our loan at the moment. So anything we do, we've got to raise the money to do it, which is why we're doing two fairly big missions later in this video. I've also picked the entrance spot to where I want to build the farm behind us there. I think I might, when we switch over, I think I'll show you guys, because we'll go and park this seeder in that area. But when we eventually buy that plot of land, a fair way down the road, admittedly, I know exactly where it is that I'm going to go and put my entrance to my farmyard. There is a really neat couple of trees that fit the combine header through, because we tend to not put the sunflower header on a header trailer. So yeah, there's one that fits our sunflower header through, which is fantastic, and the other is that it just opens into an area where we can build a good farm without having to cut too many trees down. Is the other trick. Right, so let's straighten this up a little bit more. It's amazing what 0.1 of a degree being off can do with this. It can really, further down the field, it really works against you. So, and the way my wheel's set up at the moment, without the resistance, it can be a little bit of a wonky thing to try and sort. So right, I'm going to continue here. We're making good progress. We're now halfway through the field, and let's get the rest of this field knocked out, and then we can go and do some spraying. So about 3 to 4 rows from the end now. Yeah, at most. We've still got plenty of seed. We're down to about 1/4 of a tank. We're well over 3/4 of the way through the field. We've got plenty of fertilizer as well. We actually have plenty of seed left too, which is brilliant. There are other seed missions and things that we can go and use some seed on in a bit, actually. Which basically, with seed missions especially, being able to seed them with this means that we should make a lot of money. Well, actually, there's an idea that I have with potatoes, where if you focus on potatoes to start off with, and you go potato seeding with contracts, having done a potato harvest, you would make a killing. You would earn far more back from using your own potatoes on a potato harvest seeding than you would than if you had to go and buy potatoes for seeding. You know, you're essentially talking about for the most part free seeding or free seeds for that, which would be utterly fantastic way to do that. In our case, we have plenty of seeds, so I'm possibly going to be looking to do a seeding contract coming up. For today, of course, as I said, we're going to go and do some spraying. I would like to get enough to buy that field. I'm half tempted to say let's wait till that field is planted so that we don't have to worry about that, but almost anything could get planted in there. So at least if we plant it, if we do it ourselves, we know that whatever we put in there is going to be something that is harvestable. And I'm very tempted, certainly immediately, to put the same crop in here. Same crop in there as in here. But we shall see. Despite its small-looking size on the map, it is quite a big field. One of the other things is, I just want to enlarge that. So the area that we're looking at purchasing and using is the area to the north of us, which is it's sort of a scrub land. You could put a big field in there. So eventually, when we get that, there's going to be a good possibility to extend the farm there as well. Once we've built our farm, once we've got our sheds and everything in. So that is going to be one of those bits that is going to be interesting for us to do. So I think this might be our last row. This might be the last bit of seeding we need to do, and then we can go and... oh yeah, I think we might actually be able to fit this here. It certainly is not going to take a return trip. Not going to be necessary at all. As long as we're not leaving a gap, we're not. There's an odd bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's some patches behind us, and I don't know exactly what those are. It's almost as if, because this does fertilizer as well. It's almost as if it's an area that is not fertilized. So that's a little bit odd for me. That's a little bit strange. That there are patches here. It could be that they are 100% fertilized. They're patches that for whatever reason didn't get fully cut last time. But we shall see, I think. But we are coming to the end of the field. We've actually got this pretty good, pretty well ripe, especially with the cedar. It's gone right up to the edge. We're right up to the edge of where we've cultivated, because you can see there's a small road down the edge there that the cultivator didn't get to, and so it hasn't been planted. But all in all, I'm really pleased with that. That's gone in there nicely. So let's turn off our machine, fold it up, and we're going to head back down to the farm, and or back down to our parking area. And once we're down there, I'll switch over to the other machine. I think I might show you where we're parking our vehicles at the moment, and therefore where we're going to be eventually looking at building our farm. So yeah, let's head down there. Here we are, turning down by the lime station, and just a little bit away here, and you can see that we've got two small trees here, which form rather a nice wide entrance into this area here. And then we've got a few bits of our equipment and things around here already, and you can see how this area will work as a really nice area for us to use as a yard. I'm just going to put this piece of machinery here. So eventually we might have to drop some bits and pieces down here, but at the moment this is just a good area for us to park our stuff. That is out the way. But eventually, yeah, this is what I want to buy and want to get as my farmyard. It is... So you can see the field we want to buy is 126. This area here, which has no fields in it at all, is 500,000. So, yeah, there's quite a bit of work to do there before we can purchase this. We need 5 times the cash we've got now. So we head out here, and here is our sprayer. I'm actually going to be using the fertilizer spreader because this has herbicide in it otherwise. Right, start this up. And we want to get field 13 first, contract. So field 13 contract, accept that, back. And away we go. So I will see you down at that field in our... Actually, this is a hired sprayer. So I'll see you down there. So we're on our destination. The field that we're looking at doing first is this one here. It's field 13 to our right. We're also looking at doing field 15 to our left. So we're going to get this one done first. And this is also going to highlight another aspect of that compass down the bottom. So you can see that we are at, let's take us up to 0 degrees. And you can see that we are up at 577. I think that's longitude. Yeah, 577 longitude. Basically the X coordinate. That's the one we want to watch because we're going up and down this field. And if we come out here, we want to have a look at the width of our spreader. So we get that going, and you can see actually it's a lot wider than that. And away we go. So what we're going to do on our return trip is, you can see actually what I want to do is I want to adjust to the actual width. So we adjust out until the point where we've got the full width on the field. There we go. So bring it back slightly and bring it back again. So that bit's a little bit messy, but we should be alright. So there we go. That's the full width. So we are 572. So 572 is the number we want to remember there. And what we're going to do is we're going to get to the end of the field here, or the end of this bit here, turn around and line ourselves up with another width. So we're going to judge roughly the width. So we are now 540. So we are basically 30 degrees, is it? I'm not sure, but it should be that we then line up almost perfectly. In fact, we are one out. And, yeah. You can see that that then gives you a good lineup. So we want to move about 30 each time. Each time we go across the field. And that means that we will we sort our widths out absolutely perfectly. So that's really what you want to look at, is where you end up, and then you can set your next row from there, which is you know, absolutely brilliant way of doing it, absolutely brilliant way of making sure that you cover as much field as possible. So we want to go down another 30, so that should be 15, I think. So 16 would overlap, a full 0 on our degrees, and away we go. And there you are. So that is how to make sure that you are doing some good spreading. I might make a video on that actually. Using the compass, I think, would be a great video. So let's get this field covered, and then we can move over to field 15. But yeah, I hope that information is useful to you. Something I've noticed is, while driving along there, you can just underneath the, I don't know if you guys can see this on the video, but you can just underneath the arm there, and in fact it's easier, I think, a bit on that side there, is you can see the actual spread width. You can see where it's reaching to and where it's spreading. I'm leaving some very, very thin lines at the moment. That I just need to get that little bit more overlap, I think. But in general, it's working pretty well. But you can just between the spray arms there, especially when it's coming uphill here, you can see exactly how far it's reaching, which is useful if you want to do in cab work. And we'll be further over there. There we go. And yeah, and you want to sort of keep an eye on where everything is, but don't want to break that whole in-cab thing. That is a really great way of doing it. Just sort of checking outside of there, and you can then keep in the cab and keep that sense of realism to it. So I quite like that. We are more than halfway through the field. We have more than 2/3 of our fertilizer left, so this is going really, really well. I suspect, I think that we are going to end up being able to do both of these and earn an extra 19,000. I think we are going to be fractionally short of our goal, which isn't a huge issue. I mean, that means we will reach it next time, and we do need to fertilize our own field, and we're going to need to weed our own field, and we have plenty of herbicide on here. So there's that, but it's all good. So we will continue this and get this done, and then move on to field 15. So we are on our final run on field 13. We should have this all wrapped up. In fact, there we go. Contract on field 13 is finished. We will finish this row off because I don't like leaving the field incomplete like this. There are a couple of headlands, but I've no wish to. I'm not going to go back and sort them. Our next field is going to be a little tougher. So the stuff we've done on here and the test we've done on here actually has been pretty good for us. We've got a rough idea of how many of how big or how wide our spread is. It seems to be about 28. So I think I want to make sure that I keep it fairly close to that. That is a railway line. I don't want to be trying to drive along that. Let's get field 13's contract complete then. So 9,294. Let's collect that. Perfect. And then we want to look at the field 15 one, which is perfect. Liquid, solid, or slurry or manure. So we'll accept that one. And then, yeah, for the last thing we do today, we will go and get that done. So we've got started on field 15. We are still on the first row. The thing that surprises me, and the thing that I mistook as we came to it earlier, I thought it was planted. I thought it was actually planted with sugar beet. It's not. It's actually it must have actually had weeds in it. And I think that the farmer has since cleared it of the weeds because we now have a pristine planted field. So this is going to be just as easy as field 13 to do. We do have plenty of fertilizer to do it with, so I'm really pleased about that. That is going to work in our favour as well. We have 113,000. We're going to get up to about 125. Which is really annoying because we need 126 to buy the new field. So we're not going to be able to do that today, I don't think, unless I can find a really short, really quick contract to do. But I think we're going to run out of time for that. But this spraying, these two fertilizer contracts, this actually is a really great way for us to earn money. It's playing to our strengths at the moment. There we go. Yeah, absolutely is playing to our strengths at the moment. So yeah, we just need to sort of keep these done and keep these going, and we'll make the money we need. And next time, with any luck, we will have made that cash to buy our new field. So yeah, we'll see where we go. Halfway through field 15 and we're still going strong. We are we've got about half a tank of fertilizer left, which is fantastic. We are the compass and the positioning is working out really well for us. We are wasting so little of the fertilizer. It's absolutely fantastic. This is about the most efficient way I think I've ever worked, and it's such a simple solution, especially in the absence of GPS. This equipment I would have no issue using GPS with, but GPS, no form of GPS mod is out at the moment, so this actually is working really well for me, and you can see that we've got very little overlap in our fertilizer, and it's just keeping us on the straight and keeping us going well. So I'm really impressed with this, and it's going to have us finish this field in no time. So, final row for field 15. It's gone really well. We still have more than a third of a tank of solid fertilizer left in this sprayer, which is absolutely fantastic. Really good for us on this. And I'm really quite happy about that. We should get another over 10,000 for this. I think it's nearly 11,000. And we're coming up to the end of it. I'm expecting the contract complete to come up any moment. But it's gone really well. It's worked fantastically. Unless I've missed the contract complete, because that is that's interesting. So I think we've done that. We've got that done. I think it must have come up and I missed it. Let's have a look. Yes, it has. There we go. So 10,352. Collect that. And that takes us to 123,674. So where does that leave us in purchasing our field? We need another... we need another 3,000. So there are missions, fertilizing missions and things like that. Field 22 and things like that. That we will probably, I'll probably go and grab one of those so that next time we can go and purchase our field. But for now, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from FendtFarmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell. And speaking of bells, as today, this video should be going out on Christmas Day, so happy Christmas, everybody, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.